Hey, Kliq This fans, want to get closer to the show than ever? Join Kliq This TV. Kliq This TV offers early commercial-free access to wrestling's hottest podcast, plus live audience tapings of their show every friggin' week. Head to kliqthistv.com now and get inside the show that's just too sweet.
The following podcast contains mature language and adult discussion.
Kev, I know that you're working again this weekend. You were telling me, and our friends at Delta are at it again. I don't know if you caught any footage.
Like a little LaGuardia bug?
A little bump?
Little tapski?
Oh, fuck, man. Dude, it's not like when you're parking your fucking Hyundai and you go a little hard on the bumper behind you. It's also not, feasible that you don't see a fucking thing that's 11 tons.
Well, the thing is, too, though, that you've got one that is making a landing and the other that's on its way to departing. So, you know, it's like...
Yeah, I mean, it could have been so much worse, of course, but...
I think that fucking once we get them, like, concentrating and doing the air traffic control bit and not paying them, I think that's gonna fucking that'll hike up their sense of awareness.
Should straighten things out. Makes people take their job more seriously when you let them know that you don't value them.
Yeah, and then I've also heard that I was watching one of the talking head shows the other day. And they were talking about, the Mega 7, like if we took these tech firms and instead of Elon fucking doing the Doge bullshit, take his technology and go to air traffic control and upgrade our shit so it's not like when fucking Lindbergh was fucking flying. Hey, we got one plane out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, fuck, man.
But I see these fucking things, and I wonder, that there's a whole rabbit hole that, how like when a friend sends you something, like, I don't know, maybe a guy Kevin sends me something about the World Trade Center, and once you click on it, you're giving implicit permission to Instagram to fill your feed forever with it. So I'm always very careful. I have friends that send me like fucked up shit, and I know just from the thumb, like, okay, I don't want any more of that. So even though this one's going to be funny, like, I don't need someone cooking like elephant penis stew, like just showing up randomly throughout the day. So I know someone who sends me airline disaster stuff every once in a while, and like not like jokingly, like can you believe all this fucked up stuff that's going on? There's a whole rabbit hole, and I tend not to, I defer first, as you know, to is this AI? Is this somebody messing around? Like, was there really a near miss? Like George Carlin's like, near miss. It looks like a near hit. And so I get the LaGuardia one today. I'm like, this is too close to home. I'm not clicking this bullshit. And then, it ends up being true. So I wonder, is it just because we can see these things now because of social media? Or is just more shit happening? I mean, we all hear about the big ones, right, when they go down. But a lot of scary little ones are happening.
I've been flying for 35 years extensively. And when I go to an airport, the amount when you go through Atlanta, okay, Atlanta has, like, Chicago is overrun. Midway is it's Midway. No, O'Hara. O'Hara's the big one. The concourses, when I first broke into the business, they were fine. You could walk, you could mingle at the gates.
Oh yeah, you could go right up to the gate. Now
it's like Christmas, and you're at the only mall in America. You know, it's like you can't get anywhere. There's no ebb and flow. There's so many people that don't. I mean, there's always the person that walks down the middle of it. Then there's kind of that ebb and flow of traffic, like people that are going to the high end gates are in the right hand side, like we drive in this country, and the people that are going towards the escalators in the middle of Atlanta are on the left hand side. But you've always got but the bathrooms are always on the left, so you got to cut across traffic there. But the thing that kills me more than anything is this just clusterfuck of human beings that they won't go sit down in their seats and wait for the zone to be called. As soon as they say we're now boarding, they all get up.
They're in group 5. They're not going to be called for 25 minutes.
And they stand in the middle
They mill.
And they stand like in the middle of the concourse.
Yes.
You can't, and you've got to, it's just like, it's just unbelievable.
When I was coming back from Miami, I think it was in the Miami airport that, so they call whatever group, 1, 2, whatever they're on. Now I'm walking through. This isn't my group. I'm off the plane. I'm heading through the airport. The line, they've chosen not to bend the line.
Oh,
the gate.
No, why would you do that?
Straight across.
Straight across, baby.
Bags, dogs, kids. Exactly. No, because you're kind of like Jim Brown, right? You're looking for which is the least passive resistance, that if I head that way, it will become a hole.
See, that's the key of why you don't carry bags. I don't carry bags because that way I can Jim Brown and bowl through that shit.
Right.
And all you got to do is just find an old person. They go down hard.
It doesn't take too much to knock them off. But everybody's so fat in this country now. Excuse me, overweight. Do we have to say?
No, they're fat as fuck.
Overweight that I couldn't take many. Now I'm greatly weakened.
They look like a bunch of SEC linemen, offensive linemen.
But not hard. See, there's two different kinds of fat, right? I always said, like, when I no longer take the shot anymore and I go back to being heavy, I want to be like Brando fat. Like, it looks like if you ran across the room and dove, you bounce off him. Then there's the other kind of fat that I think most Americans have, where you'd land in them like an airbag, and it'll be like you'd almost be absorbed by what you landed on, as opposed to like a bounce off. I feel like the bounce off people are a little.
If you just didn't eat processed foods, then the fucking whole country would. But the thing is like Robert Kennedy Jr. he's supposed to do all these fucking things, you know. He's gonna fucking make America fucking healthy again, and they still have corn syrup and fucking Heinz ketchup. Mm-hmm. We're the only country that still has it.
What's coming out of the Coca-Cola? I'm hearing, right? Is this still?
But it's not. It's not. It's like everybody was like, okay, he's going to be a good choice because he's for stem cells, he's for peptides, he's for this, he's for that. You still can't get fucking 99% of the peptides because my longevity guy can't get them. There's no stem cell clinics opening that do the treatments that are done out of the country.
Well, let me ask you a question about that's a good point you brought up. I was going to ask you about this off the air. So the stem cell work that's been approved in the country, is it just on such a small dosage scale that it's not effective, or
they don't use they'll use your fucking own bone marrow and fucking pull stem cells out of your 70-year-old body and fucking like it's the equivalent of fucking going to the 5-minute quick lube and getting your oil changed and then taking the oil out, spinning it and putting it back in.
So that centrifuge thing, because they were talking to my wife about getting that for her tennis elbow.
Yeah, that fucking what is that called? PRP. Is that what it's called?
Maybe. You could have said any 3 letters. I would have agreed with you probably. But so that's what it is. They take it out, and she's explaining it to me, and he's like, that's the next step, and it's not covered. Okay, yeah, platelet-rich plasma. So it's supposed to increase the concentration of platelets. A small amount of blood is drawn. It's centrifuged, which separates the platelets from the other blood components, and then the platelet-rich plasma is then injected into the area. Now, it would sound, Kevin, like this is similar to the BioxCellerator thing where you're shooting into...
No, because this is... What happens in BioxCellerator is they take... A woman goes term. The child is given birth and has to be C-section. They take the umbilical cord, scrape the umbilical cord with a Wharton jelly.
Right.
And so all those stem cells have, because the child has went term, the stem cell now is not pre-designated to go someplace.
Mm-hmm.
That was when all these people had this idea of, oh, they're taking fucking fetuses from abortions. That's what you're doing down there in Colombia. I'm like, no, because if you did that, you could take a stem cell, and it might be for hair or teeth, and you would inject it in your shoulder, and you'd wake up, and you'd have molars. Like you can't. It's like you believe it or not.
There's a movie we're gonna write.
Yeah. So so you have to have that stem cell. And now they have ectosomes that they've built in, that they put into the stem cell that basically have made the stem cell smarter.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like the last time I honestly thought that I was going to lose the use of my left leg. It was atrophying so much, and I would walk at the airport, my leg would give out. And I was just like, wow, man, like, fuck. Like, I'm 65 years old, and I'm done. Like, this is it. Like, the damage that I've done to my body, like, I'm going to be in a wheelchair. And because if you go back surgery, you're fucked. The chances of fucking having a successful back surgery.
Okay.
Like, everybody I know that's had back surgery, it's just like, nobody has one. It's like a Lay's potato chip, Hey, how many back? So I heard you had back surgery. Yeah, this is my 4th one. Because as soon as they start fucking fusing shit, putting hardware in, that makes the disc on the bottom of it and then on the top of it fucking go bad. It's just like it's a nightmare. So I've got stenosis, which means my spinal column is narrowing. So when I first talked to the doctor down at BioxCellerator, he said, your back is so advanced. You think about fucking 30 years of fucking hitting that fucking wood. And so much of that is when, you fucking hit it. I mean, you end up hitting on your tailbone. Every time I drop somebody in a sidewalk slam, I fucking was landing on my ass, and those fucking bottom 5 or 6 vertebrae in your lumbar region are just getting compressed. And that was Hulk. Hulk dropped that leg so many times.
I was going to say he's exactly who came to mind when you said that. That leg drop, you're taking that. And because one was raised, you're taking that on one side more than the other.
Yeah, you're rounding that hip. And then on top of that, Terry was 330. You know, he was 330 pounds.
True, of course. Yeah.
You know, he was a big fucking dude. So, and I remember seeing his X-rays of and I heard that when they just did surgery on Shawn Michaels not too long ago because he was having just incredibly, his back was killing him, and when they took the bolts out because he worked with after he had the surgery, the bolts and screws and everything, it looks like they've been just tied in knots.
Ooh.
So, you know, I remember seeing Hulks, and they looked like S's. And this is supposed to be straight pieces of hardware that were going through your, you know. So the amount of damage, so I was just like, fuck. So when I went and I got it done, and then it probably took 2 or 3 months, and I was doing one-legged leg extensions with 20 pounds, and fucking 8 reps was fucking all I could get. And I was doing. I've got a gym in my town that's got a leg press that you can take the pin out in the middle and do each leg separately. So I'd have fucking 5 plates on my right leg, which is my fucking knee replacement leg, and then my good leg, I'd have two plates, and struggling to get 12. And as time went, slowly. Like I remember one time I was getting out of the shower and Tamara she said, your leg's coming back. And I said, what do you mean? She goes, your hamstring, like your whole leg is starting to come back. And then it's just slowly, like each month. And now it's been right at a year since I had the treatment done. And like, fuck, man, like both of my legs have gotten bigger. Like I was training legs yesterday, and I was just like, fuck, man, like, that's, like, and I didn't get my back fused. You know, I got stem cells.
But you knew in advance to do, so many people, myself included, you trust your doctor, right? Like you kind of are led down the path, and some, I mean, they're great. Some are great. They'll lay out the odds for you and say, you know, this here, and if not that here, and they lead you down the path. Then I feel like there are some that are probably very fast to the knife.
Of course.
And we don't know better.
Well, my whole thing is, I mean, and maybe because I've been an athlete my whole life, like the last thing you want is anything to your spine for them to put a knife to it, because every nerve in your body runs out of your spinal cord.
Yeah.
And the chance of it fucking not getting severed is. People fuck up elbow surgeries every day. You know, I'm not giving them my fucking spine.
Yeah. And you said the odds of, like, with the back surgery, of not needing additional are very,
very, and it's just. So when I looked into it, I found there was a guy down in Florida. It was the Duke Institute, but you know, I talked to him, and his procedure was he used like a laser technique, and it looked like, I thought, well, if I've got to get surgery, this looks like the option, and then I start talking to and it's not covered. It's not covered by insurance, and I'm like, if it's not covered by insurance. And then I'm going down to fucking South America, because I already know what they can do. But the doctor down in South America was at BioxCellerator was not 100% sure that I would get the results that I was looking for.
Mm-hmm.
He said, you know, of course we'll treat you. He said, because you've got so many other things going on with your shoulders, you know, and everything, and your knee. He said, so we'll treat you there. He says, but he said, I don't know how that's going to go moving forward. And then when I talked to him after 3 months and told him, he was kind of like like, wow. And I said to I told my wife this a couple of days ago. I said, I can't state enough how blessed I am to have found BioxCellerator. Like that is it's my fountain of youth.
They reached out to you?
There was a young guy at the time. His name was Dave Truitt, and I met him in.
Where do I know that? Where would I know him?
I don't know.
Truitt. Was he in the business?
No, but he
Okay.
was around the business. So he was the first guy. Joey's down there now taking care of us, but he was the first advocate for the athletes
Okay.
to get us down there, because like it's like anything else, until you, like, to me, when I'm down there and Jeremy Piven and Slash was down there the last time I was down there.
It was his hand, right?
His carpal tunnel.
Carpal tunnel.
From playing guitar, but it was also his fucking knees. His knees were just
Run around on stage.
yeah, running around and jumping and doing all that shit. But to me, it was Tony Hawk. You think of how many times Tony Hawk has fucking fallen off that board and hit that fucking wooden gimmick,
Oh God.
So him and his son both went down to BioxCellerator, and it was like fucking it was life changing for both of them, and it's life changing for every single person that goes down there. I don't know anybody that doesn't say. I mean, it's like if you're paralyzed and you go down there and all you get out of it is the fact that you can move your big toe. You were paralyzed before. That's
true.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it's huge. And for me to get my leg back,
True.
it was like,
Kev, I don't know what the odds are on a back surgery and having that, but I can tell you with some certainty that the odds, if you go to MyBookie, the odds for the let's go to the main event here. The odds for the Seth Rollins Cody. Where would you put it? I don't want you to look. I have it here. Steve, you can bring it up to confirm. Changed. Who's the favorite? Let's just do
I'll
that.
say Cody's the favorite. And how do they
It's the plus minus. So so an even would be like just
maybe Cody plus 250.
It's Cody plus 200, Seth minus 3. So Seth's the favorite. Cody, you would actually get additional money if you laid your money on, whereas it would cost you a little more for Seth, which I was a little surprised about.
And the fact that Seth has never beaten Cody, and if your storyline is that he's the innovator, the uncle, and he's the guy that we're going with, and he's now 0-4 against Cody.
Gotta happen this time.
Like I've always said, the money is always in the babyface chasing the heel.
Right.
My whole thing is when they did this. Well, we'll go into that, but I'm surprised at that, but I'm not, because that's probably
Cena, AJ Styles. This is easy, right? I mean,
yeah, you got to go Cena.
You got to go Cena.
Cena can't take two losses.
Huge favorite on this one. Minus 1,000. AJ plus 500. What am I doing? I'm on the MyBookie app. Okay. Match winners we can do. We could do method of victory, surprise run-ins. Best believe if it can happen in a ring, you can bet on it. So while the action's heating up, football season's here too. All right, it's prime time to cash in with MyBookie. they're your headquarters, okay? You're looking to bet, you can bet it all in one friggin' place. If you're new to MyBookie and you use the code Kliq, Kliq, any bet you choose up to $500 is fully covered. So make your play. If it doesn't hit, you get it right back, okay? When you opt in by using the bet back bonus. Crown Jewels is going down. Football is here. It's a damn good time to be a bettor. You can bet anything, anytime, anywhere with MyBookie. Don't forget, opt in. Use that code Kliq, Kliq, and opt in on that bet back bonus token. Up to $500. You lose, you get it back. You win, you win. You lose, you get it back. You can go to mybookie.ag if you prefer to do this online, but I would just go drop that app on your phone before the coming weekend gets here and get in on the action. MyBookie. Make them your bookie. That wasn't written, but I should get some kind of credit for coming up with that on the fly.
I give you credit.
Thanks, man. Code is Kliq. Okay, Steve, still laying some odds here as we speak. Stephanie Vakirin and Tiffany Stratton, what do we think? Well, I just saw it. Stephanie's the favorite.
Yep.
And is there another match announced? EO's. Oh, Rhea, that's right. So Rhea and EO, obviously favorites in that one. All right, go hit it. Go hit it at MyBookie. So I started by talking about Delta, but you do have to. You have to, but you're in. Are you in? You're not flying, right? Because you're doing something in Florida.
Nah, yeah, I'm driving tomorrow.
Okay.
Got to drive to Tampa.
Is it a con or a wrestling?
It's a Comic-Con.
Comic-Con, I mean, yeah.
But it's like a horror con. It's like Spooky Fest or.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck,
I think they should
sorry.
just do Spooky Finger Fest.
Spooky Finger
and
Fest.
Then everybody gets judged by how well they do the old NWO. I think Scott told me. I'm gonna forget it. I'm gonna forget this, but you'll know. Like the origin of that was you guys like fucking around backstage, like in the locker room, and I don't know with one of the workers, I guess, who was puffing up to somebody, and I think Scott just would like that, and then you guys would just go whatever you fucking were doing in the locker room. You would just
take it on TV.
You would walk out with it. How great is that?
Yeah, no, that was. It's so funny because somebody asked. One of the guys called me from one of the Sheik guys, and they were writing something. They wanted to get my input in it. And I said, guys, I feel like, I said, I don't have CTE. I don't have memory loss. It's just that after fucking 30 years of matches, I can't remember one from another.
Yeah.
You know? Like I'm watching this shit that's on Instagram right now with the Ultimate Warrior. I know I was there for all that. I just don't remember it.
Right.
Because it was so rotten. There's no way that I would have taken the time to be on my feet looking at a monitor.
Not only that, Kevin, but there's a reality to doing the same thing every fucking night. I mean, the person across from you might be different, but it's one of 5 guys probably, right, for that year. You're not working 50 different guys in the same company. So, I mean, for the layperson, imagine going to your job, if it's in an office or a restaurant or something.
Right.
And you work there for 10 years with the same people. And I go, oh, remember the 14th night you were there and that guy ordered the ribs? And no, I don't.
But you know what I do remember? Being in the last row, all the way at the top of the fucking Astrodome, passing the joint back and forth between me, Waltman, and Scott. I remember that.
But that's a standout event. That's
exactly.
Not,
like
yeah.
we did that we had like 7 dome shows in 7 weeks, and that was always the thing we did is we'd show up around 2:00, so you weren't too late, but then we'd work our way all the way up to the top, and then find like an opening that was at least 100 yards from like somebody to come around the corner.
So they can't smell it.
So and we could eat it. You know, there'd be no fucking evidence. And we smoked like, and it was.
You weren't tested for weed in WCW?
No.
Okay.
They quit testing. WWE quit testing.
Right. You're in a collared shirt today, Kev. Is this an occasion? Did you
I had
a wedding today?
Well, I know I had a ribbon cutting this morning. Sunbelt Rentals they were here years ago, but their Sunbelt Rentals is God, how can I explain it? They have everything from like 150-foot cherry pickers to everything. They got everything you could want.
Big machinery. If you need big machinery, you go to Sunbelt Rentals.
Or they also have things that like you would use for home improvement. You know, like if you had like like maybe you needed to till something, like a tiller. Or they've got everything. So it's Sunbelt Rentals. They're across the country. They're in several other countries outside the United States, and so I was there today as a guest of Chris and the team. So I want to give a shout out to Chris. He showed me a great picture today. It was Chris and his boys, and it was Scott, myself, and Eric. And it was a signing we got years ago at this giant hotel in Orlando. And yeah, so it was very cool to hang out. It was I ended up talking to a young lady that was the sister of the girl that brought me in, that did the logistics of bringing me in as a guest, and she was a finance person. So we talked finance.
I bet you did.
And yeah, we did. And boy, she turned me on to some different annuities. Like there's some annuities that you put your money in for 2 years at 6%. That's pretty good.
I think you get 6% anywhere for 2 years.
Yeah. Wow. 6%. 6% is good.
Is it with a minimum? Like, it must be a massive minimum, though.
If you even look up like MetLife, like their annuity, I think it's around. There's one of them that's like 9, but I didn't even look into it because you had to fill out this whole thing online. I'm just like, I'm not gonna fucking do
9.
That. Yeah.
What's the term?
I think it's the amount of money.
Okay. Because, for anyone listening who may not be sure, anyone that's going to pay you any percentage, whether it's your bank giving you interest on anything, or if you're guaranteed an investment, something like this, that company has got to invest that money and make at least that back for themselves, of course, before they give it to you. So I'm just shocked that anyone thinks they're making 9% in the market in the
well, even as shaky as Berkshire Hathaway has been, I think I'm still at 11.5 for the year.
Mm-hmm.
They just bought a huge fucking chunk of Occidental. So
anyway, you were talking finance and...
Yeah, we're talking finances. We're talking all kind of stuff. I met some really cool people. I met a lady that I met on the road, that her and her husband had a mold. They come in and clean your air ducts and get rid of all the black mold, and you can't be in your house for 24 hours after you do the procedure. And her husband passed, and I thought, well, I'd heard that her husband passed, and I said, well, that's the end of that. And then she was there today, and she walked up to me and she goes, do you still have your black Mustang? I said, no, but I said, I'm sorry to hear about your husband. I said, do you still have your company? She said, yes. I said, do you have a card? She said, yes. So I brought that home to Tamara. So
Get your ducks cleaned. Get your ducts in a row.
Get your ducks in a row.
Last time I had a guy come out and do this, he said, I should know better, and you're going to do your fatherly thing to me, like when I told you I stopped my car to help a woman in distress. And you were like, you could have got mugged, and I went down that whole road. So, sometimes you get that shit in the mail, like they used to call them penny savers. I don't know what they call them now. So like duct cleaning, it was like $49 or whatever, $99.79, whatever it is, the price. So my wife's like, do you think it's legit? So I look at the phone number. I said, well, it's a 917. It's a New York number, so they're in the area. They obviously service there. So we hire them. They come out, and they begin to. The guy starts his process, and the act begins. And so they start. And he goes, "Got to let you know, and this one right here, found some black mold." I said, well, yeah, I mean, it's, there's moisture, right? It's because it's ducted for heat and AC. So there's hot and cold throughout the year. He's like, yeah, I said, but we are told immediately to stop. We don't want that to become friable in the air. And he said, so we have to do the $300 black mold cleaning service. So me and Kev, we're kind of, I mean, different cities, but we're kind of from the same place. So So I said, before you write that up and put it in your computer, I'm assuming that, like, you do some of this. You could probably do that for cash, and nobody would know that there was fucking mold or not mold here, right? He's like, well, I'll tell you what, see, do $100. Then I could spare you the $3. So that was it. So I gave him the $100, and I had them cleaned. But I still felt like a fucking I got worked, because it was supposed to be 49 and then was fucking 100 on top of it.
Yeah, but all I know is I remember when they got done, and T and Tamara and I came home the next day. We had to go find a hotel that we could bring our dog, and so we spent the night, and we came back, and we walked in the house. It was like, it was the purest air on earth. The smell was unbelievable, and it stayed that way for a long time. And then, you just, no matter what, man, that just those storms with 120, 130 mile an hour winds, they'll find a way to get water in the places in your house. And so we've got the air conditioning system that's in the main bedroom, and it's in that the add-on part of the house is up in this attic that's the gable's like 35 feet tall. So when you go into the attic, I mean, I can stand and put my hand up and not touch. But everything's up there, like the whole air conditioning unit and everything else, and they've got fucking all the piping and the pans and the drains, and like it's like working on a nuclear fucking submarine. You've got to do maintenance. I ain't doing shit.
I know.
I ain't fucking like I have a rule. If I have to go above the second rung on the ladder, that's the Bob Nash rule.
That's what I was gonna say. Bob said there are people.
There's people called firemen that go up ladders. You're not one of them. Like, fuck you, man. I remember years ago when we bought our first house in Phoenix, and Tamara said, "Could you please just go out and do the peak of the garage, in the front of the house with the big Christmas lights?" So I went out there with the ladder and the staple gun, and I'm putting these things up, and man, I fucking shimmy my fucking body weight a bit, and I'm probably 17, 18 feet off the ground, and about took a bump off that fucking ladder on the concrete. And I remember fucking it was like 7 days we couldn't use our garage because the fucking lights that I didn't put up were just hanging straight down in the middle of the two garages until I found somebody, some handyman to come out there and finish it. But to me, it's just like, you know what, man? I can always go make more money, but fucking man, you take a bump off my aunt took a bump off a fucking a ladder, landed, fucking put a fucking bone through her foot, and
Yeah, if you're not Jeff Hardy,
yeah,
you're not gonna know how to fucking land.
and I don't even know. I don't even get how he paints his fucking eyelids and gets that whole fucking thing to work.
Yeah, that's almost more difficult than the
ladder.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. But anyway, I had to get up early. To me, the ribbon cutting was at 10:30, so I had to get up at 8:30 to, to get this done. So
you must like these people. They must have.
You know what? The thing was, Chris told me, he says, you need anything, and I do have a piece of my roofing that it's just decorative, but it got peeled off during the last storm, and I just haven't, I just haven't had somebody out there because nobody has a cherry picker to fucking go up 35 feet because they're not going to, scaffold that, and they're definitely not going to put ladders and do it. And I don't know if you remember the peak of my house is like, it's fucking, I mean, it's the pitch is incredible. And so he said, no, he said, you need anything. He says, there's a hurricane and you lose your power. He says, you give me a call and I'll have the guys bring out it. They got, like, I was walking through like part of it today. They got generators, that you put diesel fuel in them, but I mean, they're like, will run your house.
Right.
So not only did I have I got to be there, I got to see how the Daytona Beach Chamber of Commerce works, like how the whole, like to watch that whole rigmarole, because they really put this company through the ringer to okay them to build out there, and because they've got fuel and all these other things, so it took them 18 months from breaking ground to get this thing cleared and open today. So, but it was kind of cool to like be, and all the people are brilliant. Everybody that works there is you can just tell when you're like, everybody I sat down and talked to, I had a really good conversation with. And believe it or not, man, there's a lot more Democrats in Florida than let fucking
especially in your neck of the woods, which was surprising to me when you told me that.
Yeah, it was
fans of the show, I guess. If they're
a lot of it, and
like-minded,
they've a lot of you got a lot of shout outs. Make sure I told you hello. So hello from Sunbelt Rentals. And if you guys get a chance, if you're in Volusia County, Sunbelt Rentals, they've got them also in they've got one in St. Augustine. They've got one. Well, just go online, Sunbelt Rentals, and tell them Nash sent you. Tell them Kliq this sent you.
Yeah, exactly. Let's think about this for a minute. We're talking about cherry pickers. We're talking about heavy machinery. Around your home, you might be doing some work. Fall's here. It's a good time to get out. Maybe not as hot. I don't know what's going on down by you in Daytona, but we're getting a little bit of fall weather up here.
I noticed you had the jacket on today.
It's one of those. I think a shacket is what it's called. It's kind of like a heavier shirt for the fall. It's what would this could be called? Where it's a little heavier and it's got that fabric.
Kind of a sheen to it.
Yeah.
It may take a couple of rain, a little moisture.
Well, no, this probably wouldn't do well in the moisture.
It almost looks kind of like it's something you could play golf in.
This is good. This is the fashion segment. We went from cherry pickers and heavy machinery to the but the reason, Kevin, that I'm talking about this is because MANDO, if you're in the cherry picker in the heat fixing the Nash's roof, you're not going to want to be schwitzing through your shirt.
No, you don't want to be beefing.
Yeah, beefing, gassing out the rest of the guys on the crew. So MANDO is going to be your hero. MANDO deodorant, but so much more. I almost hate saying the word deodorant. Okay, from your pits to, everything else, they've got us guys in mind. It's high performance, odor control, and sweat control. Okay, lasts all day. Forget these cologne type things that just mask the aroma. This blocks it before it starts, okay? And it's that's coverage, okay, through overtime games. If you're out watching a team, a weekend project, or working some double shifts, you're good. You're covered. It's science. So let's talk about this science for a minute. Clinical strength sweat control, okay? Sweat reduced after 12 hours. Underarm sweat reduced by 92%. That's after 12 hours, okay? This is deodorant re-engineered to stop odor before it starts. It doesn't just mask it. 100% of study participants experienced all-day odor protection. Doesn't get higher than 100%, motherfucker. So tackle the odor and the sweat. Guys, the starter pack is perfect for new customers. That's what we recommend you do. It comes with solid stick deodorant. I love my my bourbon leather stick deodorant. Cream tube. Okay, I have that here, holding that. 2 free products of your choice. Try the body wash, the deodorant wipes, and you get free shipping. As a special offer for listeners, new customers are going to get 20% off site-wide with our exclusive code. Use Kliq, Kliq, at checkout. Shopmando.com is where you're going. SHOPMANDO.com. 20% off site-wide plus free shipping. Support the show. They're going to ask where you heard about us, where you heard about them. Tell them it was us. Thank you, Mando. Love the product. Use it. Kevin uses it too. No bullshit. That's the thing. We get such great shit. We actually end up using it.
Yeah.
We use the fuck out of it. And then we're like, hey, since they're still advertising, I buy it when I'm in the store and I see it. Give them their pound of flesh. Some feedback from last week's show. LP1. Bret couldn't show up on Nitro the night after Survivor Series because he still had a month left on his WWF contract, which is why he didn't show up until mid-December. He also offered to drop the belt to Austin, Taker, or Shamrock at the December 7th show, In Your House pay-per-view. He just didn't want to drop it to Shawn. Listen, started in December. This isn't the point. When a promoter says the belt is going to this guy next, that's it. I understand he didn't want to drop it to Shawn and in Canada and all this shit. My point was that Bret should know better. Imagine somebody going to Stu Hart and going, hey, Stu, not tonight. I don't want it to happen in Calgary. He would have been stretched right there. Bret should have known better. That's my point. Okay, he couldn't left until December 7th. Whatever the fuck. The boss says this is the guy it's going to. That's it. Come on. This is wrestling. Kevin, I think you agree. You're nodding.
No, I never had a problem doing it. It's just like Scott Hall told me one time we were in a car. He says, when you don't give a fuck about doing jobs, you take all their power away.
And the freedom to just be for yourself.
Exactly, because it's just like, you know what? You can't put us on TV and us not be entertaining, so we're going to stay over. So you can beat us all you want. If you for what you're paying us, if you want to beat us, that's your fucking call.
Exactly. You know? Exactly, Baba. At Roms86 also was weighing in on the topic, said, Bret and Kev are my top 2 favorites of all time, and I just wanted to say that that ending was very well put by Nash. It shows how grounded in reality he is to speak the truth about Bret, even when it doesn't necessarily do his buddies any favor. Respect. Mike M. The way Drew was being portrayed recently has been just disgraceful. No wonder he took that part in the Highlander remake.
That's the second film that him and Batista been together on. So I think Dave's helping Drew get some action.
Well, yeah, in the movies.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't want the talk to start again. Who said this? Well, see, I don't have the person. I can find it. Steve, maybe find this person's name. It got cut off here. Kevin, I agree. The timing of Trump saying he hates his enemies wasn't a good look, not the right time and place. But I do think the guy has a right to say it, just not at that event. They tried to take Trump's head off twice, tried to bankrupt him, went after his family, all the court cases. I'd hate my enemies as well. LOL.
This was in response to that. So I've been watching the Comey coverage, and tell me if this is too simplistic, but now you've got the 2 FBI guys arguing whether they leaked shit to the fucking news, and if they did, when the date was that coincides to their fucking depositions. And I'm thinking to myself, like, when did FBI guys, like there's some, Trump's not wrong, you know? It fucking, like, why are these guys leaking shit anyway?
Anyway, right. Well, that's the...
You know, they're supposed to be fucking working for the president. It's like, and then fucking Comey goes out and does the fucking gimmick on the sand with the fucking, with the rocks. Oh, look what I found. You know, you fuck with Donald Trump, I promise you. Ask YouTube to cut a check for $25 million this week. You fuck with him,
And it's, you know, the thing that sucks is it's almost, when you hear that somebody settles, don't you kind of feel like it's an admission of guilt? It's most times just saying it will cost you less now than if you fought this.
Do you remember the shaman? The guy with the fucking buffalo head with the...
From January 6th.
Yeah. Did you see his lawsuit?
No. What was it?
He sued Trump. I don't know if Kliq this was in on the list.
We were named as plaintiffs.
It was a $40 trillion lawsuit.
That's just.
And I just want to say to President Trump, aren't you glad you fucking pardoned that cock?
He turned around and sues him.
You know, what a fucking asshole.
The 1BG says, LA Night is great, but the main event scene is both crowded and spread out. When Cody and Seth are the champs, who does Knight beat? Maybe he gets a short title reign to give Seth heat back, or maybe he turns heel to feud with Cody. Reminds me of DDP back in '98. He was great, but the top was crowded for him to win. Turned heel, then won the title next year. It's a good point about DDP, Kev. And I want to ask you about him because in a different landscape, he could have worked the top more. He could have gotten, first of all, he could have gotten to the top a little more quickly, and then could have been there longer. And then he was involved in a feud with The Undertaker when they went to WWE.
Oh, he got killed. They killed him.
Yeah. So what's up with that?
That was everybody that was anybody. He went over. His dream was always to work for the WWE. And so when Vince offered the buyout at 50 cents on the dollar, he took it. So he took the buyout, then took, a downside. So basically, it's like now you're going back to work to make what you would have got if you would have sat at home on the couch. So what's Vince do? He's the biggest star that comes over in the first run besides Booker. Him and Booker were the two biggest stars that came. And I think that the lack of fucking them having any black superstars at that time and at the WWE, they didn't want to fuck with Book. But they fucked with Dallas bad.
Yeah.
I mean, he did a job for Taker's wife.
That was the angle that he came in on, right? The thing with
Yeah,
Sarah.
he was a stalker.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Which was weird anyway.
It was a bad.
It was bad.
He should. I told all those guys, man, take your fucking money and we'll do the invasion right. But they did exactly what they needed to do. They needed to fracture us, and then have us come in and fucking stage us. So I mean, I'll never forget watching Goldberg get beat to death by Christian in a cage match with a chair. Christian just beat him to fucking death. I was watching that going, motherfucker. Then Sting came back and Paul beat him. It's like there's not one guy that was over, and I hate to fucking be redundant, but I'm sorry, man. The Confederate generals were not going to go over in any war scenario when they came back, because we took those guys to the brink. Like we almost fucking closed their doors. What you expecting a favor from Vince?
Well, I mean, but the players on the team, that's their job. You can blame ownership, management, or whatever but I mean,
but it's still
it's your job to go out and make money for your company. I would have loved to have gotten a guy that worked so hard to put me out of business who now says, "All right, I'm on your team now."
Yeah, me too. But that's not Vince.
I guess not.
Did you hear that everybody that went to Vince's birthday party got a gold bust of his head?
I saw it too.
I heard that from I was talking to Mr. Waltman this week. We had our weekly update. We both got our royalty checks, and I called him and he goes, and he's laughing on the other side of the phone. He goes, "Obviously you got your royalty check." I said, "Holy fuck!" I said, "What?" I said, the last one was good. I said, this one was rotten. I mean, it was half. But, hey, what are you going to do?
Well, you can do a forensic accounting.
That's
what you could do. Was it legitimately half? I mean, could it be possible
No, because when I was making huge money in my royalties, it was broken down. It would say NWO T-shirts, NWO women T-shirts.
Yeah.
Now it says NWO intellectual property, and there's just a number.
There's no subcategories.
No, okay. So it's just, I mean, and that's all it is. It's going to be a forensic accounting, and I'll fucking sue them, and I mean that's just the way it goes.
Insider talk. This all got weird after Fanatics, yes?
It got weird when they sold. It started when they sold. All of a sudden, fucking.
So this is TKO. The weirdness starts.
Yeah. Because I think that and I can only go by what I was making. I can only imagine what like Hulk, Austin, Rock, like if you take all those guys, I think Steve was at 50% of his merch. Some of mine was at 25. So I mean, when you take that and you cut that in half and put that back on the books, that's several $1,000,000 that were in the red that go back black on the books.
Yeah.
You know, and see, I'm double jeopardied in that because not only are you fucking me and raising the price, but then I'm also a stockholder. So are you fucking inflating my stock by doing something that's not, particularly legal?
Well, it's an interesting observation because you're sacrificing on the one side of the fence, but you're making it by the company reporting impressive quarterly earnings on the other side and having your investment bump. But wouldn't you rather have money in hand than money sitting in a market?
My thing with it is, I would never do anything to put any bad light on Paul. So while Paul, like, as long as Paul's in charge, I just roll with everything.
No, I know, but I'm just
Yeah, I'm just saying it's
listen. If it, Paul or no Paul, I know when they first switched over and you got a check. You did get on the phone with the woman in that department.
Yeah, no,
And
I got things taken care of.
Yeah, you had to Nash things along a little bit.
Yeah, but that's that's my non-disclosure agreement.
Oh, you can enjoy all the fun live as we tape this if you go to kliqthistv.com, sign up, become part of the 11 Soft Club. What does that mean? It means you're here for the tapings. It means you get the shows early without the commercials, and you can ask us some questions, fraternize with us throughout the show, after the show, before the show. Mark Capps, a paying member of
Hell
the Kliq,
yeah.
he's shouting out the Detroit Tigers for Kev. Got some elimination games tonight going on, right? I think. If you're an MLB fan, I only know this because the restaurant I was eating at today, the McAfee's show was on above me, and the thing below said 3 elimination games tonight. I just repeated the company line.
I'm sorry, but where the wild cards gonna go up?
Yeah, Tigers, 6-3 over the Guardians is what Mark's referencing.
Yep. That's it. That's it for that series.
Also, don't forget that the merch is at the kliqthishop.com. I had somebody I saw on the socials, or maybe they emailed me or something about that they were trying to buy it at the old location. No, we've got it all primed up with our own URL and everything, kliqthishop.com. Head over there. Dom managing the shop and doing a great job. Kev, I watched Raw, and I'll start with a positive.
Yeah, good start.
The best thing for the last couple of weeks has been Cody's promo. And I loved this week that the stuff we talked about last week, not to say that they listen or anything, but where it got a little wrestlery with the future of the business stuff that came in at the end. Cody mocked that, or didn't mock it, but he dismissed it and said it was ridiculous and that this future business determined by the fans, not to say. And I liked that he used that as a point between them to kind of keep it real. This seems to be kept pretty real.
Well, I think what it is when you, and I actually had I text Cody back because he asked how my procedure went. Cody did, and I told him, I said, it's nice to see 2 fucking guys at that caliber, that basically give you, like, just by putting their name next to each other, give you a 5-star angle. Because you know the work rate's going to be great, the promos are great, like everything. And it gives it that feel of real sports.
Mm-hmm. Now, do you think, I don't know either of the participants personally, do you think he has any, what's the climate there? Can he have some sway in how they're writing him for this angle?
Yeah, I think that I think that Paul would when you're at that level, yeah, you're discussing, because Paul's going to see it one way, but Paul will. I mean, that's the beauty about having a guy that was one of the boys, and but also always one of the best minds. Was before he drives it too far one way, the last thing you want to do is book a guy when he's got an idea that might be easier for him to accomplish. So Paul's always going to, he's a great communicator with the talent. I think that's one of the biggest pluses and differences, that no matter, you weren't going to fucking change Vince's mind. I mean, there were so many times that Sean and I would go back and forth with Vince. God damn it, we just do it my way. And we'd go out there and go, okay, well, that's going to be fucked up, so we need to book something right after that to fucking get the people back, because we're going to lose them there.
But didn't he also, maybe it was just with you guys, I don't know, but you kind of made him listen a few times that I know about, right? When things weren't.
But we didn't do it. We didn't do it at gunpoint. We did it as, like, hey, I know that you think that you got an idea what's going on, but you really don't. Like, you're not out here every night.
Right.
And it was just like, and I think the thing was too that when we sat down with him the first time we sat down with him and Jerry in Indianapolis, it was, we would have had absolutely no.
Was that the time he got on a plane to go sit down with you?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. We sat and drank beers at Applebee's with him before we went to TV, and I think Columbus, Ohio we drove from Indianapolis to Columbus at the old Civic Center, and we fucking like pulled up in like 3 cars, and fucking Briscoe and Vince got out, and it was one of those things, like, the boys were like, "Are you fucking kidding me? Like, these motherfuckers are traveling with fucking Vince now?" But
driving, no less.
Yeah, right.
In the Astro van.
But
on the Diners Club.
We put over people that we didn't exactly like. Like we can get.
Oh no, I
more.
get that, but
Yeah,
Vince was open to it.
Well, I think if it would have been us, me,
you would have lost credibility.
Absolutely, right. And ours was, man, we were taking it as, because we all had the same vision of the business, and it's amazing that once that Kliq fractured and went separate ways, how our psychology and how we looked at the business from a more real standpoint was kind of what sent that fucking shock wave in '96 that was the NWO, and then later on was DX. So, people can say what they want to, but I think that the 5 of us had good psychology, and we spent so much time fucking talking the business. It's just.
But you had the strength in numbers and it was the right people.
Well, you couldn't separate us.
Correct.
That was the key, man. We made that pact. Like, we will not be separated. If they fuck one of us, they fuck all of us. And then that was one of the problems that occurred when we did the curtain call, and then Hunter got left out, and Hunter did the punishment, because that had never fucking stood with us.
You were gone, so yeah.
I know, but fucking, as Scott used to always fucking say, man, nobody fucking, they can X-ray, MRI, they can do whatever they want. If your fucking back hurts, it hurts. And if all 5 of our backs hurts the same night, and just happens to fucking go for a month, well, things are going to be fucking, things might be tough money-wise at home, but...
So who you bullshitting here saying you didn't put a gun to anyone's head ever?
No, we never had to play that. Because when we sat down with Vince was
because he knew. It's like John Gotti sitting down saying, "I need you to do me a favor." He didn't have to say, "If you don't do me the favor," but you know. I'd have been a little annoyed if I was Vince with you guys, with this solidarity pact. It's like a union. It's like a union within the non-union company.
God, imagine that.
No, I'm not saying it's.
No, but I'm just saying, no matter how you look at it, so we unionized as a pack of 1099s. You know?
You managed to do that.
Well,
AFL-CIO KLIQ.
Exactly. I mean, it's one of those deals where fucking you either have street business savvy or you don't. You either fucking you're either running the fucking prison yard, or you're the fucking submissive bottom on tier C. I mean,
for a pack of cigarettes.
Yeah, Cools, extra longs.
As it
Kings, Cool Kings, 100s.
Hey, I know you still talk to people over at in the company who hit you up for opinions and stuff, and you help people out on the DL. You got to get with Rhea. She sold a whiff from Aska that just look at that. You but you don't sell the whiff, and it was from behind too. You can just ignore it.
Yeah,
didn't see it.
Yeah, it's one of those things where it's like, it's so hard because, I mean, if you watch that Nia Jax where she doesn't kick out and she's supposed to, and if you saw that spot, it was when Jade got busted open the week before.
Oh, you're going back? Okay, yeah.
Yeah, it was the week before. God, I can't believe it that Jade, man, like, she's a beautiful girl, and she got that fight. Look like somebody hit her with a 9-iron between her eyes.
Yeah.
And then somebody said, yeah, they had to sew her up immediately in the back. I'm thinking, that fine ass motherfucker you didn't fly her ass to Miami to a plastic surgeon.
Yeah.
Like, I wouldn't have somebody just sewing that girl up.
I don't know if it's because I'm a dad of girls, but I don't like watching the women get injured, and
I don't like watching them get hard way.
Say that, but I
mean, if some crazy girl in AEW wants to fucking blade herself, knock yourself out, sweetheart. You know, if you're not getting enough blood once a month, you need to get a little extra during the taping. Knock yourself out. But fucking Jade, like, man, that's a one in a billion fucking body face. Man, please don't fuck that up.
You said blood and made me think of the Bloodline. So now the Usos and Roman shaking hands in the ring, and I was kind of like, all right. So I was here before. Maybe it's going to go somewhere. I'm taking it at face value and going, do we need this or even want this? But maybe this is a swerve, right? Maybe they have something on ice.
You know what though? I watched the thing. It was an interview with Miz, and you forget this, but you don't. The guy said, you're in a bar and there's fucking 20 guys and they want to beat your fucking ass, Miz. What 4 guys do you want with you? And he said, the Usos. First thing out of his mouth. And then at that time, Umaga was still alive, and then Tonga was there. So he basically said, well, when it comes down to it, just any of the Samoans. And when I was there, my first run, it was like you had Yoke, you had fucking Quiche, and you had Sammy, and like. Number one, like
Haku was.
He wasn't there then.
Yeah.
He was
you were in WCW, right?
He was,
right.
I was in WCW. But he said that they're the baddest motherfuckers on the planet outside of the ring, but they're the smoothest, lightest fuckers on earth in the ring. And it's across the board. There's not like one of them that can't swim. They all can work. They all fucking are tough as nails. You can't fucking hurt them. It's like, so when you think about that and you've got a group of Samoans in your locker room, it's very hard because they're so respected from the boys' standpoint not to fucking push them and not to keep them, because if it was a shoot, they'd be in those spots.
Right.
Yeah.
The high spot of the show, by the way, which is upon us, is brought to us by our friends Mickey Ray Sinatra and Courtney at Get Blitzed Lit Aid. That's right, nano-infused Delta-9 THC sip and syrup, if you want to be your own mixologist, or the new Get Blitzed Lit Aid mixers. Kliq this edition. They're going fast. The Kev's Key Lime, Sean's Blue Raz, pre-mixed, 5 milligrams of Delta-9 and a nice, chill, mellow vibe. Or the Delta-9 THC sip and syrup in the flavor of your choice. You put it in a beverage of your choice, soda, tea, whatever you want. Nano-infused, by the way, means goes right to your bloodstream, bypasses breakdown in the liver, and therefore a fast onset, about 5 to 15 minutes. If you're in Maryland, please go visit a Stay Lit smoke shop. But for the rest of us, it's legal to ship right from the Get Blitzed website to all 50 states. Almost all 50 states, let me say, without a med card as long as you're over 21. And right now, you could save 15% by entering the code Kliq, Kliq, at checkout. Go to get-blitzed.com. That's get-blitzed.com. Use the promo code Kliq, Kliq, save 15%, and enjoy the love. Grab those Get Blitzed Lit Aid mixers from your friends here at Kliq This, Kevin, Sean. I bet our Democratic friends at the big opening today might have perhaps enjoyed a Get Blitz beverage in their lifetime.
You know what? When I think about it today, I almost want to retract that, because it's one of those things where, and I'm trying to stop doing that, is if I get along with people, that they're automatically like-minded politically. It's just
I thought something might have come up to tip you off.
No, I mean we talked finances. She and I both felt a recession was coming on. That's why we were talking annuities. But it's just that I think that, man, we've really got to fucking stop picking teams. Like I think that what Hegseth did with the generals, I think, man, that really backfired. I think that put a fucking bad taste in their mouth. You know, I don't know how many people have grown up around blacks in their lives, but and it wasn't really until college that because we lived like on the same floor in the jock dorm, that you realize, you know, what a fucking pain in the ass it is for a black man to shave with a razor, because when he does, the hair, because his follicles are curlier, they grow right back in and they get razor bumps.
A lot of times they use depilatory creams and stuff like that.
Yeah, and back in the day, it was I think it was called Magic Spoon or Magic Shave or whatever it was. But I remember that they'd mix it.
Like blacks everywhere are rubbing cereal on their fucking face because of you.
I'm trying to talk. So it's Magic Shave, I think it was what it was called, and they would put it on and it would like turn like this fucking almost like clay, and then they would take a knife that you would use, not a steak knife, but like a butter knife, and peel that shit off to in order to shave. And that's one of the things that he said was, you know, the no more beard, because all the black guys were getting profiles on shaving because it was such a pain in the ass for them to shave. So that was basically a dig directly at the blacks. And I watch a lot of sports. And I don't know how much sports I would watch if you took the black component out of it. Like, I don't watch a lot of hockey.
I mean, I know a lot of people are for affirmative action, but the day they apply that to the NBA and they say we need 3 starting white guys on every team, I'm checking the fuck out. This is why affirmative action and quotas are horrible.
But that's my whole thing. Is just like, you know, like, okay, they can't have beards, but nobody with under a 26 vertical jump can be in the Army either. So all the white guys are out. So it's like, fuck you, man. Like, you that tattoo on his chest. It's like, come on, Aryan dude. Like, you're such a fucking. But at least, man, they're fucking. You can say what you want, man, but the Department of War has fucking declared war on that fucking city block in Portland.
Oh yeah, baby.
They're locking that motherfucker down. I've heard the reports that at nighttime Antifa is like fucking vampires. They come out and attack with shields and sticks. There's no media coverage of it because I guess they're stealth.
Were you surprised at all by the very new age concept of attacking in darkness, and that
weird
that people are ill prepared for that?
Well, and then I saw a thing where it was in Chicago, and there was like people standing in front of the ICE vehicles, and the guys were just driving like 3 miles an hour, and they weren't like, and they were saying how they were, you know, like impeding. I'm like, no, you're not impeding, because you're going to need a lot more than fucking 25 people to stop a fucking Explorer. I mean, like, you're not going to stop a vehicle from fucking moving with 400 horsepower. So it's like, come on, guys. Like,
yeah, I try to watch as little as possible.
How about the Pope?
Days, it shows up.
The Pope throwing a little fucking.
This is a very different Pope.
Little fucking brushback almost.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't throw behind him, but threw fucking up by the chin a little bit. Said not too pleased on the way you're treating the deportees as human beings. So that was interesting.
It'll fall on deaf ears, though.
Definitely. Well, I don't know if it
nice.
falls on deaf ears.
In a vacuum.
I mean, there's such a difference between, like I've always said, between Christianity and white Christian nationalism. So one of them's a fucking terror group, and the other one's got some maniac driving a truck in their fucking. I guess that was the Mormons that up at Grand Blanc. That fucking maniac.
Right.
But did you notice that nobody fucking jumped on the fact that he put a Trump street sign in front of his house?
I think somebody kind of jumped on it and they were taking off ABC.
Yeah, and he was in Trump gear in his photograph. But the thing is, it's just like, okay, so the guy likes Donald Trump. Now you have to fucking look at the facts. The facts are the guy's been arrested several times since he got back from the war. He's fucking crazy and batshit. And if he had on a Daredevil fucking t-shirt, would that mean fucking we all got to fucking jump on Daredevil's ass? It's like, these motherfuckers are crazy, man. Crazy's crazy.
The noise of politics in these shootings, these last couple, is the fire on the other side of the room to distract anyone from having a fucking gun conversation anymore. Now it's entirely he's on your side. No, he was on your side.
Well, you know what they do? They did in Florida, right? It's open carry now.
But wasn't that last year? Or
no. I can strap my fucking Desert Eagle on my fucking leg and walk around town. I can carry an M16 across my shoulder around town.
Yeah, it's third world nation stuff. That's who does that shit. Third world nations. I forget where I read it. I read it somewhere. The more guns you see on a street, the further you are from civilization.
Absolutely.
And it's a fact. Which gets me to Florida man and Jersey guy, Kevin.
Hold on, I got to say that one last thing. I've got to get this in because I was watching a blip. It was a typical Hollywood reporter, and it was at the Icon Awards. And she got a word with Jim Carey.
Okay.
And she was trying to have a serious conversation with him, which he had nothing to do. He was, but one of the things he said in the interview was, she asked him, she said, something you would tell that you now as Jim Carey would have told 25-year-old Jim Carey. And he sat there and he looked at her. He didn't even fucking blink. And he said, you don't have to have an opinion. And I just went, wow. Because what causes 90% of the arguments?
Religion.
Oh, but you got to have an opinion.
Right.
You can't argue with if I say to you, would you believe in God? And you say, no, I don't. And I say, why? And you give me, so now we've got a problem because we've both, but if you say, I don't have an opinion on it, where's that going?
Right. Understood.
So that's going to be my new thing is I don't have an opinion on it. No opinion. Plead the fifth.
I was going to say, everyone that has to testify before Congress now would be nice if they just didn't have an opinion.
I don't have an opinion.
Appointee Nash, what do you think of the trade agreement in 1917? No opinion on it.
But, I watched the news today, and it was like J.D. Vance went on there, and he did 20 minutes of just absolute lies. And so to the point where I had to look up the Obama Act, the Obamacare Act, and shiv through fucking however many pages that is to get to the point where it says who can legally have it. And it says in black and white, you have to be a U.S. citizen. You have to be legally here. It's not like they're trying to. The Democrats finally have a message, and it is the Americans need to be taken care of, because if they get what they want right now, plus the boost that's going to hit November 1st in healthcare, people will be paying 120% of what they're paying right now for healthcare.
Mm-hmm.
And there's and with beef going up 30% and everything else going up that I'm pretty sure they ran on wouldn't happen, because the tariffs are so effective, but yet we lost $14 billion in soybean sales to Argentina, to the Chinese.
Who aren't buying any of ours anymore.
So they're buying. Yeah, we haven't sold. As I said, we haven't sold a dollar. So we're 14 billion in the hole. So we're going to take the tariffs money and subsidize the farmers. So instead of trickle down economics, now we have the steal from Peter to pay Paul fucking economic fucking trend, which is quite effective.
Yeah.
I remember it in Econ 101 as one of the options to effectively run a country.
You mentioned it going up 30% before, and that reminded me of BLUECHEW. Because you could probably even get more than 30% out of it. Guys, what we're talking about. We've been talking about it for 3 years now. BLUECHEW, the original brand offering chewable tablets for better sex. Period. That's it. Pop one, chew it, be ready to go. It's not a supplement so much as it is an erection resurrection. And you'll be ready for action when duty calls. You want to give your guy downstairs a little pep talk, and this is like a gym membership and putting them on the gas. All right.
Well, we talked about earlier about not having an opinion. Yeah, you chew one of these and you say, "Hey, your shit ever look fucking bigger than that?" Your opinion is no.
An opinion.
I got an opinion.
Stronger, harder, longer lasting. That's what we're talking about. Who the hell isn't down for that? The cheat code for your crotch is right in front of you guys. All right. And this isn't just about performance. It's about legacy, or third legacy, maybe. Listen, give the person in your life something to talk about when you're not in the room, okay? Discover your options at BlueChew.com, and we have got our special deal, as always, for listeners. First month of BLUECHEW, free. You can use the promo code NASH at checkout. Just pay $5 for shipping. That's it. BLUECHEW's mission is to upgrade humanity one thrust at a time. Head to BlueChew.com for details and safety info. And thank you, BLUECHEW, for being part of this podcast and for sponsoring Florida Man and Jersey Guy this week. 2 headlines, actual headlines, one describing the activities of a Florida man, one a Jersey guy. Kevin will, as always, use his powers to deduce which we're talking about. First headline, man arrested after setting and live streaming fire in building. Second headline, man confesses to killing and eating his pet peacocks after a dispute with a neighbor.
I'm going to go second one, Florida, first one, Jersey.
He's right.
There's nobody fucking smart enough that's insane in Florida that could fucking live stream
a video to the world.
Anything.
We're going to Lyndhurst, New Jersey for our friend. Who would this be? Alexander Plukino, who was charged Tuesday with aggravated arson and risk of inflicting widespread injury or damage. when around 8:25 a.m.
Huge Smoke fan. Television series Smoke.
Oh, police officers arrived and saw a multifamily residence on fire, and turned out to be Plakino, who was broadcasting this, who'd been streaming the fire for about 20 minutes before he was brought into custody. And then in Florida, our star of the segment, 61-year-old Craig Vogt, V-O-G-T, of a town called Hudson in Pasco County. Is that a county down there? Pasco?
Yeah, that's one of those rural.
Where you might have peacocks as pets.
Yeah.
Had a dispute with a neighbor and ate his peacock. Listen.
You sure that's not a typo?
Ate. Yeah, I added the P. We're back. Click this, the Kevin Nash podcast, and it's time to talk about a little bit of breakfast love, and actually not just breakfast love now that our friends at Magic Spoon have mastered the treat, the airy, wonderful, chewy treats. They are crispy, crunchy, and a great way to get 12 grams of protein on the go. The cereal that we so enjoy, they are flavors like frosted that you see me holding here, but also cocoa and fruity and all those pebbly type cereals you might remember from your childhood. But the love about this is the 13 grams of protein, 0 grams of sugar, and 4 grams of net carbs in every one of these cereal boxes. And those cereal boxes you see right there on the screen. Don't just take our word for it. Take this opportunity to get your purchase from your next order at $5 off. If you go to magicspoon.com/click, Kliq, you can look for Magic Spoon on shelves at Amazon and the grocery store near you. I see them all over the place now, but we're going to give you that $5 off if you go to magicspoon.com/click, Kliq, and try Magic Spoon. Arm yourself in the morning and throughout the day. Those treats are great to throw in your bag, take to the gym. Might have even snuck down in the middle of the night when my gummies kicked in and enjoyed a treat myself now and again. Either way, Magic Spoon is going to make it happen for you. Go to magicspoon.com/click, get your $5 off, or grab them at the nearest grocery store. Thank you, Magic Spoon, for your creation and your support of all show. It's time for our 11 soft members from ClickThisTV.com to get their questions in for Kevin. Our live audience who's been here watching, probably eating their Magic Spoon treats as they watch. Who's up first here, Mark Caps. Any stories about the late, great Bryan Adams, a.k.a. Crush?
Just a great guy. I remember he was the one that we were traveling up in New York together on a road trip, and he turned me on to Stern.
Was he from the North?
No,
the North.
He had just been
Iceland.
Been in the territory for so long. You know,
right
in that New York territory, you got Stern.
Thank you, Mark.
I remember when Stern came to, my wife would pay the bills, and she'd get these bills from Scores, and I'd put my credit card down to be $1,500, and the guys would give me, and she'd be like, "Where the fuck's this Scores? This is a sports bar. Then fucking Stern came to the Valley in Phoenix, and she's taking me to the airport, and I'm driving. She's going to take the Bronco back home. And all of a sudden he's talking about fucking Scores and the fucking how hot the girls are. And I could just feel laser beams in the side of my head. I was just like, oh, fuck. I said, really? I said, I've never seen the girls there. Must be on the other side.
It's a big facility.
Yeah, giant.
Next. Ace Ramon, do you think it's possible that The Boys from Brazil was a true story? They do clone things nowadays.
Even if they just impregnated, they found the lightest skin possible and impregnated, you're still going to get some blue eye. I mean, there's a ton of Brazilian people that have blue eyes. So.
Very good. Another one from Ace. Shout out to Bret Hart's daughter, Jade, beating cancer. Yes.
Yes, absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Bret's had some jar. I mean, she beat it, so that's great. But Bret's had some a lot of body shots, man.
Hey, Britt, were you in the locker room for
No.
Rick Rude and Warrior's fight? Is it true that Rude beat the fuck out of Warrior, and why? You know what started it?
Because Rick told me his version of it. It's just that I want to think they were going into Survivor Series or SummerSlam or something. Because Rude left shortly after that and joined us, and I remember the first night that I was on the road with Rick was in Chicago. And we were staying at the Embassy Suites up by O'Hara. But Warrior said that Rude wasn't worthy of him to put over. And fucking Rick said, okay, well, let me just beat the dog fuck out of you.
Maybe I just became a little more worthy.
Yeah.
Wow.
Maybe you didn't realize how unworthy you were.
Good Lord. Edgar Watson, thank you for all you do for all of us. You're a class act.
Oh, thanks.
Mark Capser, see about the guy that had the TKO sign on ESPN? They took it down after Triple H saw it. I didn't. That's interesting. Parent company. Britt, are we ready to admit how overrated Roman is?
I'm not.
See, Britt, here's the thing, man. It's all how someone's being used and underused. And I'll say this. Let's wait and see where this Uso thing goes.
To me, man, it's like when he comes out, man, there's a charisma and a star quality to him that he's another step above everybody else.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I always liked it too. You know, there's a thing. When a guy again, this is my age, where I came from, what I used to watch. When a guy looks like a wrestler to me, there's some instant creds that happen. Then further, if they can actually work, if they are a good character. Now, sometimes the character's given to them, but if they can manifest the character to keep it interesting, I think I'm okay with Roman on all those. Have they been better? Of course, they have been better.
He checks all the boxes.
But right now, I'd rather see him working the top than some of the people that have been main eventing on Raw. So,
and he's bigger. Yeah, he's bigger than the other 3 or 4 guys that are in that top spot.
It's a fine time to remind everyone that Kliq, this is a production of Butch and Sundance Media, produced in association with Podcast Heat, created by Tristan Nash, Kevin Nash, and Sean Oliver, producer Steve Kaufman, graphics by Dominic D'Angelo, title sequence and audio edit by Wesley Burleson, theme song by Dale Oliver, technical research by Tristan Nash, copyright 2025, Butch and Sundance Media. Kev, do you want to do another one?
Only if I can plug Sunbelt Rentals one more time.
Let us free. customer service never answers a thing. Let us free to breathe in air we're supposed to breathe. Twists and turns, you've come to love me. Now I'm cold, I'm frozen. Baby, we're broken, and the customer service never answers a thing. Yeah, the customer